Hey everybody, my name is Ashley, Servant Leader of the Men's Ministry here at Faith to Faith. I want to welcome you all to our first Vodcast this evening. I have a very special guest, my friend, one of my mentors, Mr. Jeffery Shippy. Awesome man of God. He's an entrepreneur. He's an influencer. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a great man of God. So we're going to have a conversation. Make sure you share this video on YouTube, Facebook, like it. Also go to our Faith to Faith page as well and subscribe. Thank you once again for joining. Have a great evening. All right, Ship. So we're in a new series called Soul Food. So for our icebreaker, I want to do a this or that. So I'm going to ask you a question dealing with soul food. So first question, macaroni or potato salad?
Come on, man, I'm in the South. Macaroni. Make sure it's macaroni and cheese.
Okay, fun fact, I don't eat neither. No macaroni.
What?
No potato salad.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
All right, next one. Banana pudding or apple pie?
Apple pie, man, come on.
Okay. All right. Collard greens or candy yams?
Whew.
Tough one right there.
Candy yams.
Candy yams?
Candy yams with the marshmallows on top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you gotta go all the way. You gotta go all the way.
I got you. Okay. Cornbread or biscuits?
Cornbread.
Cornbread?
No Jiffy.
Jiffy? Come on,
No.
Jiffy's the best.
No, you gotta do homemade.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If my wife watching this, homemade.
All right, last one. Fried chicken
Fried
or
chicken.
barbecue
Fried
ribs?
Fried chicken. Back in the game, baby. Fried chicken. I don't even need to hit a ranch. Fried chicken or fried chicken.
Got you. Well, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to do it a little bit differently, though. So I have a faith cup here. And so all of these questions are pretty much wrote to talk about our faith, but just generalize it for us, our conversation, right? Okay. So I'm going to choose a question, and then we'll discuss it, but you're going to answer the question, however you choose, okay?
I like that.
All right, so first question. I love my wife because she is blank, fill in the blank.
That question is not loaded, but there is no one answer blank to that.
Okay.
My wife, dude, is everything. And I often tell people all the time, I think God felt sorry for me because I wasn't doing that much right to deserve such a good woman. And so we've been married 16 years, and this woman is just, dude, everything. She's the whole package. I believe I have about 90 to 92% of everything I want in a woman.
Awesome.
Everything. It's not 100% because she's human and I'm human.
Yeah.
But I'm up in the 90s with everything. Probably the biggest thing I like about her is would be, of course, her commitment to God.
Yeah.
But in real life, her commitment to God is cool. I like her commitment to me too. And I often tell people, my wife, her level of service to me is devotion and not duty.
That's good.
She serves me because she wants to, not because she has to.
That's great.
And I always have to be mindful that her service to me is because she wants to. So I can't, for someone who serves me the way she does, it's easy for me to start feeling like it's natural and she owed me that, and she doesn't. And so I'm mindful that she loves me and takes care of me because she wants to, not because she has to.
You know, one of the things I learned from your marriage with Miss Angie is the compliments. You consistently compliment your wife. And that's something I try to do with my wife as well. Talk about that. Why that approach?
It's hard to be frustrated. It's hard to be unappreciative. It's hard to be mad when you're so grateful. And I kid you not, with no exaggeration, out of a 7-day week, my wife will probably tell me, Jeff, thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for my life. I'm so happy in this marriage. Out of 7 days, my wife will tell me that probably five days.
Wow.
For me, out of a 7-day week, I will tell my wife she's beautiful. I will tell her how much I love her. I will tell her how much I want to make love to her. I'll tell her how much I still lust after her. I'll tell her how special she is. And it's out of a 7-day week, I know I will say those 5 or 6 things probably 5 days out of a week.
Gotcha.
Just regularly. Because it's hard to be ungrateful while being grateful and thankful.
Right.
So that's real big on our point. That's a real good question there.
Tell me about the renewal.
The vow renewal?
Yeah, tell me about that.
So now here's what's crazy. So 16 years ago we got married, and when we got married, dude, we had $60 to our name. I'm talking about that was 401k, that was retirement, that was all the accounts. I'm talking about a real life $60 to our name.
Sure.
And we had dinner. She wanted to get married before her dad passed. He was getting a little bit up in age.
Okay.
And so we went to a restaurant. Then we went back to our pastor's house and got married. And I've always wanted a wedding. I thought I think my wife is probably the prettiest lady I've ever laid my eyes on. So for my birthday, I told her I wanted a wedding. And this September the 4th, which is her parents' which is her parents' wedding anniversary, we renewed our vows. Wow. And dude, it was simply amazing. It was everything I've wanted in a wedding. And it got away. I didn't know weddings were so expensive. When I wanted a wedding, I was thinking, we're just going to go to the church and walk down the aisle. Dude, that thing, it grew legs, but it was everything we wanted.
Gotcha. And also, tell me about the 50K birthday.
All right, like I said before, when we got married, we had $60 to our name.
Yeah.
That was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And my wife turned 50 this year. And for her 50th birthday, I invited a nice group of friends, and I gave her $50,000 cash. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it. We are so blessed and fortunate that we were financially able to do it. And so I did. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot of different feedback.
Well, here's my feedback from it.
Okay.
I think you've motivated me on a financial level to get where you are, so I can do that for my wife one day. Okay. So I am definitely proud of you for doing that.
You still have a few more years before she gets 50.
Right, so I got a plan. I got a 10-year plan together to get to that 50K. But man, thank you for doing that. Thank you for loving your wife and being an example for other men to watch you love Miss Angie, because it's awesome to see, bro.
Yeah, man, she makes it easy. That's all I can say, man. That girl make it easy, and I do anything I can for her.
That's how it should be. Perfect. All right, let's go to another question.
Oh, this is a 2-part question.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
The worst decision I ever made was, and the second question is, the best decision I ever made was.
The worst decision I ever made. The worst decision So here's the thing to it, that oftentimes people will only see where you are and they don't know where you came from. I dropped out of school in the 7th grade. I've never in my life seen a high school. I've never seen a high school reunion, a prom, a pep rally, nothing that pertains to high school. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
And so for those that don't know that, and you fast forward now and you see my life and you see me, renewing our vows, and we pull up in a Rolls Royce and all kind of little fancy stuff that we do. Yeah. And it make it look like, they have arrived or he's been here all his life. That's not the case. So one of the worst decisions I made would be dropping out of school in the 7th grade. Don't get me wrong, God used it, and I was still able to elevate and pursue more education later. But I'll tell people all the time, there is a phase in life where certain things should happen. Okay. For its development. Okay. You just had a beautiful little baby, right, and we talked prior to, she's 4 months.
Yep.
All right. So around 9 months, she should be standing up. Okay. And being able to pull herself up. If not, there's a developmental delay. Around 2, she'll start getting her out of Pampers. You know, so there is stages.
Yeah.
You should graduate high school around what, 17 or 18?
Yeah.
You should do college around this age. And so I tell people all the time, go do what's supposed to be done at that age. I went back to high school. I went back and got my high school diploma at 34 years old.
Wow.
I was supposed to be building my life and my legacy at 34, not going back, doing something that I was supposed to do at 18. So I would think that would probably be one thing that if I had to redo or one of the worst things, I would definitely finish high school, get that out of my way.
Okay.
And so dropping out in the 7th grade, that was probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
The best decision you ever made?
I mean, I want to be deep. I want to be Christian, okay?
Hey, sure. You know how we talk. We
Right.
All
right.
So
No, you know what? Not pretending. The best decision was hands down accepting Christ.
Okay.
That was just, dude. I mean, before Christ, I was a thief. I was a womanizer, a liar. Before Christ, I was all that good stuff, all that bad stuff. The devil had me thinking, you know, it was good stuff at the time.
Yeah.
So I think the best decision I ever made was accepting Christ. And after that, it was definitely marrying that woman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Accepting Christ and marrying her.
Tell me about your process of accepting Christ. How did that happen?
I was wilding. I just broke up with a girl, and I didn't know it, but I was heartbroken. You know, because, again, I wasn't saved, so we would start, man up, find somebody new to sleep with. Okay. Honestly, back then, on a more mature level now, when you break up, you know, you need healing, you need deliverance. You know, you need to get close to God.
Yeah.
That's now in life. But back then, when you broke up with somebody, it's simple, fine, go find somebody new. But I was hurt. And it was one night, man, I remember like yesterday. I remember down to the little car I had, a little Volkswagen Rabbit. And I stopped at my sister's house one night. I was high. I had weed in the car. And don't ask me what made me stop at my sister's house around 10:30 that night, because she was a straight Jesus freak. Okay. And I couldn't deal with that. I didn't roll with that, man. I got the blueprint going. If y'all don't know,
Jay-Z.
Yeah, I had the blueprint going in the car.
Yeah.
And I stopped at her house, man. I kid you not. And she wound up praying with me. She wound up taking me to her back room, putting oil on my head, praying with me, and and I got saved that night in her house. Wow. And she told me life was gonna be different and gave me all kind of Christian stuff. And I didn't know, but I just knew when I left something was different. Yeah. And I remember I used to be, and I still smoke weed after that, but I remember I used to be scared to have the Bible and weed in the same hand. I remember I would put the weed down and pick the Bible up. Then I would put the Bible down and pick the weed up. I just knew they didn't go together. but you know, I just couldn't kick my first love was weed. Right. I smoked for 14 years every day. Wow. The only time that I didn't smoke was when I did little stints in and out of jail. And if we could sneak something in jail, we smoke it then. So I wound up moving to Gaffney. That's where I'm originally from. And I remember the first day, I'm asking everybody, where's the guy that sell the weed? And they say, he gone fishing. I said, where are the other 500? Because where I'm from, everybody sold weed. And they said, no, we got one weed man and he fishing. I said, well, get me a boat. I got to catch him. And I remember going 3 days without smoking weed. Then I called that same sister and she went straight Jesus on me. You delivered. Christ was raised on the 3rd day. God got you. And I'm thinking to myself, this girl got too much energy. And that was my daughter's 21. That was 21 years ago. From then until now, I have never smoked weed since then, 21 years ago. And I have been walking with Christ since then. Awesome. So I'm very grateful and thankful for my sister for listening to God. Lead me. It was a little hall, but at that time, it felt like about 35, 40 feet walking down that hall, going to the back room to pray. But I'm very, very grateful for her for being obedient to God and leading me to Christ that night.
Best decision, man.
Yeah,
that's
definitely the best. It changed my life, that's for sure.
Good stuff. All right.
But she's amazing. My sister, yeah, very grateful for her.
Okay. My greatest accomplishment is blank.
I think there's twofold to that a little bit. Okay. I wouldn't say accepting Christ was a compliment because salvation is free. I didn't do anything to earn that. So I didn't. That is not something I accomplished. That was something that was a free gift that was given to me.
Sure.
My salvation, my redemption, that was all a free gift.
Sure.
So I think twofold. One of my greatest accomplishments was marrying this beautiful woman, but encompassed in that is marrying her, keeping her, and remaining faithful to her for 16 years. I think that's probably one of my greatest accomplishments. Marrying her, keeping her, and staying faithful to her for 16 years. My other greatest accomplishment is buying my mom a house.
Oh.
I think as a child, when we grow up, it doesn't matter whether you got some kind of sports ball in your hand, whether you're opening your law book saying you're going to be a lawyer, whether you're grabbing your lab jacket saying I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
We always say, I want to buy my mama and daddy a house.
Right.
My mama will do this for me, I'm going to buy you a house. And I think to be blessed with the opportunity to do that, it was a huge milestone for me. So a few years ago, my wife and I, we paid cash, bought my mom a house, and my mom lives mortgage free. Wow. And I think that was a huge accomplishment. And I don't want to keep going on a rabbit trail about this beautiful woman, but I will tell you my wife was the real MVP of that deal. Because when I brought the idea to her, she could have left it on the pillow. She could have said, you're not taking our money and buying your mama a house. And no one would have ever known. It would have stayed right there on the pillow.
Yeah.
But my wife is such a team player. She said, oh, bet. I love my mother-in-law. Let's do it.
Yeah,
and she allowed me to take our money, our hard-earned money, and go buy my mom a house. I'm forever grateful for my wife for that. But I think that was probably one of my greatest accomplishments is buying my mom a house and knowing that she can live mortgage free. She just enjoy life. She don't have the debt of making a mortgage payment. It's just priceless.
Perfect. Awesome.
So yeah, that was something we definitely enjoyed as a family. We definitely made it a family thing where the family kind of got together and celebrated that together.
Good. You ready for this one?
Uh-oh, it sounds like it's loaded, man. What's on that paper?
I wish I was better at blank.
Ah, man. All right, so this is me and you. Me and you,
Yeah,
for those that don't know, you and I, we have these type of conversations regularly.
We do.
Where we would challenge each other's faith, challenge what we believe. I probably say I wish I was better at being more consistent with my time with God.
Okay.
Being more consistent with controlling my anger. My anger, I don't really have an anger problem, but it's just my tone with my wife sometimes. Again, I went on bragging 3 questions ago how amazing she is. And now fast forward, I'm saying that, listen, I wish I was just a better person at just controlling my tone in life sometimes. But probably the biggest one is being more committed and consistent with my walk. No, with spending time with God. I think that I wish I was just more committed and consistent with my time with him. I really do. I would plan it and I would say, I'm going home to study, and then I got a TV in my office, and before you know it, we 2 episodes in of Martin, and I ain't even opened my Bible. So
I got you. Let me bring up another point to go along with that question. I was actually reading something that I wrote maybe about a year ago, and the Lord had told me something. He said, Ashley, you can go to church or you can be the church. There's a big difference. Because you can go to church, you can put on your suit, hear the praise and worship, pray, go home, and forget about God. And then you'll see somebody the next day that might need $5. And you say, hey, I can't help you, I'm sorry. Or they might say, hey, can you pray for me? You say, I can't. So what is the difference for us in your life? Because you are the church to me. You
correct.
Help people, you invest in people.
Right, we are the church. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Right. So what far as your life, what has God shown you about being the church instead of just going to church, but being the church?
So this is crazy. My sister laugh at me all the time. She tell me every time she called me, it's like I'm a magnet to people broke down on the side of the road. And I'm not a pastor at my church. I'm a minister at my church.
You're a deacon, right?
No, I'm a minister at my church.
Okay.
But I think there's something called a pastoral spirit. Mm-hmm. And a pastoral spirit looks for problems to solve. Okay. A pastoral spirit rides down the street and there's a car broken down. They're like this. They're looking to help.
Yeah.
They are attracted to men. God has made them fishermen of men.
Yeah.
And so I think if we truly want to be the church, I think everybody should encompass that pastoral spirit, be fishers of men, always looking for an opportunity to show you are the church, always looking for an opportunity to show the light. I'm not saying always looking for an opportunity to talk and tell people about Jesus, but I believe you can tell people about Jesus. Let's put it like this. If you on your way to church, flying down the road, and somebody is broke down on the side of the road with a flat tire, which one you think God will prefer you to do? Go to church, ride past them, or pull over and stop and help them?
Pull over and help.
See, that's the church.
Yeah.
You brought the church to them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the Bible says if you have an altar with your brother, what did he tell you? Leave the altar. Leave the church. Go get it right.
Yeah.
Leave where you are and go be the church for them.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big component that if we're going to be the church, then I think we should always look for opportunities to be the church.
Yeah. That's good, bro.
That's good.
Come on, man. You got some hard questions, man.
All right. Let me see. This is an easy one for you. Oh, no. Well, maybe not. Being a father is blank.
Hard.
Hard as in how?
God, I have 6 kids. And I have 6, and here's the crazy part. You would think that after 6 kids, we've had enough. My wife and I, we just fostered a 13-year-old. Okay. I'm talking about our house was empty. I'm talking about we can be married all over the house. Okay. Okay. but as if that wasn't enough, we took on a 13-year-old.
Okay.
And so with my daughters, it was a little bit more challenging because around 16, I have 4 daughters, and I got the phone call with all of them crying. They broke up with some boy. And I had to remind them, baby, it's okay. You can find the guy of your dreams every 6 months. You can find Mr. Right every 6 months, bring it in. But I think being a father is challenging. But I think separate from being a father, just being a good human being, just being a Christian, just following Christ. If I stick to being Christ-like, fathering is easy.
Got you.
But if I try to put Christ beside me and then run and be a father, it don't make sense. And so the easy part for me is honestly just make sure I'm walking and following Christ. I have 3 boys now. And my thing is, I have to show my boys that there are men that's committed to one woman. I have to show my boys that are men that actually tithe. I have to show my daughters that this is how you treat a woman. Yeah. And all that is a biblical something to do. Yeah. And if I'm able to remain biblical, then father just kind of rolls naturally. So when I say it being hard, I'm mainly talking about some of the hard conversations I have to have with them. Sometimes when I have to just go upside my son's head, because I had to go upside both of my boys' head from time to time. What?
Really?
Come on, man. Well, my oldest son, I came into his life when he was 16. He's 30 now. And so he was the man of his house with his mom. And then here comes this new guy trying to build a relationship with his mom, this is going to step parenting here. Okay. Trying to build a relationship with his mom, build a relationship with him. When he wasn't used to that, he was the man of that house. And then, I had to, I had to pray with him. I had to lay hands on him, subtly. And, but honestly now, man, that dude is one of my best friends. I kid you. And that's my stepson I'm talking about, one of my best friends. Awesome. And with my biological son, it was difficult for him because it's just me and him. And now I get married and bring on all these extra kids. And he looking at me like, dude, it's me and you. Why you bringing these other people on? And it's crazy how the circle of life goes around. He just met a young lady with 3 kids himself.
Oh, wow.
And he has a daughter.
Wow.
And so it's just a whole parenting thing, man. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing. 6 kids. I'm an entrepreneur. All 6 of my children are entrepreneurs. Every one of them. Every one of my 6 kids are all entrepreneurs.
That's awesome.
All of them. Daughter has a clothing line. Son runs a family carpet cleaning company. My other son has big bait fishing. My daughter has custom creations. My other daughter, she does lashes and everything. My other daughter has her own beauty salon. And so again, me being who I am has rubbed off on all 6 of them.
Wow. That's big, man. Having the entrepreneur spirit, that can pay. I mean, having the pastoral on is good as well, but this tangible for us with finances, that's big too. Because you have to have finances to live. So being that your kids pretty much following your footsteps, like, I'm pretty sure you're proud of that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we were having a financial class at my church. Every year we start out with financial teaching.
Okay.
And I told my kids, I told all 6 of them, I gave them all the exact same mandate, and I made it simple. I said, listen, I make it to our financial class, and I have way more money than y'all. But if I care enough about my money to go to financial teaching, and you don't care enough about my money to go, then I can't do anything for you. And so here's the rule. If you don't go to our financial class, I can't contribute to you financially anymore.
Wow.
And some of them listened and some of them didn't. But my youngest daughter, I told all the kids the same thing, but my youngest daughter, she grabbed hold to another rule I told her. It's real simple. Every check you get, 10% goes to savings and 10% goes to God.
Yeah.
And both of them are equally important. I don't want to look in your account and see you gave God 10% and you didn't save 10%. I don't want to look in your account and see you saved 10 and didn't give God 10.
Yeah.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
And now I look into my wife's account, my daughter's account, she's loaded. She's a senior in college. But she followed that principle. And then I would go down and check. I need to see 10% from her checking went to saving, and I need to see 10% went from her checking went to our church. And she does it. And I told her, I said, baby, if you follow that principle, you will never, ever, 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 ever in life be broke. And she's 22. She followed that principle. Thick bank account. I'm not getting good, but it's by those principles. You save 10 and give God 10.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I like that.
Now, all my kids didn't listen to that, but she did.
I like that.
So,
I like that. Good. Man, that's good stuff, bro. You inspire me. I'm thinking about Addison right now. In my head, I'm thinking about, okay, how much I want to put up for her college fund.
absolutely.
Set her up. So
No,
that's good.
absolutely. Start that now.
Yeah.
And start that now.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good one. I get frustrated at God when he blanks. You had to drink some on that one, huh?
I get frustrated.
You know, the reason I put this question is I think a lot of people think that your relationship with God is supposed to be perfect, but it's not. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to have issues. You're going to complain. So give me your take.
I get frustrated at God. So I think that question speaks to our humanity. It identifies the fact that we are human. We love God with everything in us, but we're human and we get frustrated. As a matter of fact, Jesus got frustrated. He said point blank, my God, why have thou forsaken me? And his my God wasn't a glorious, my God. It was a more, my God.
Yeah. Emotion.
Right. He was going to get frustrated. So there are times when I get frustrated with God, but I think I get frustrated with him when I confuse his motives.
Explain.
When I understand that no matter what happens, God's motives are pure and they are to do me good and not evil, when his motives are to bring me closer to him, his motives are to bring me closer to an expected end, When I know that, I can embrace whatever happens. If I go bankrupt and lose everything I own, his motives in that situation is he wants to show me something.
Yeah.
He wants to get me closer to wherever it is he want to get me.
Yeah.
Knowing those motives doesn't allow frustration to last long. Again, the question speaks to humanity. I'm human. I will get frustrated. I told you my wife is everything to me. I get mad at her too. And but so I definitely get frustrated with God, but never confusing his motives with what's going on at the moment, it doesn't allow the frustration to last long.
Okay.
If my wife and I have a blow up argument, one of my kids do something contrary to God, or I lose and I go bankrupt, or I lose a loved one, I still know God's motives. So it doesn't allow the frustration to last long. But frustration will come just in situations and moment by moment. As a real estate investor, somebody bring in a deal to me and I think, oh my God, it's going to work and it's going to change my life and this is going to be the next big thing. And I jump into the deal and I wind up losing a lot of money. That's frustrating. But I do know his motives. I have a friend and he showed me this in the worst way. Every time he run into a financial jam, he and I would talk and he literally said to me, I feel like God has forsaken me. And I'm like, really? I said, let me get this right. You have tied God to money? Is that what you're telling me? I said, because you're still healthy, or you still have your family, you still have your relationship, but because you are not where you think you should be financially, God has turned his back on you. You should be ashamed of yourself, bro. And I think we can make that same assumption even when it comes to money, health, relationships, whatever. We can't minimize God to a situation and think that he has forgotten about us because we lost a loved one. Huh?
Yeah.
What happens to the rest of the word?
Yeah.
To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. What, does that not mean anything? What happened to when he said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you?
Yeah.
And so I try to apply the word, and I try to never minimize God, and always remember his motives are genuine, and it's always to bring me closer to him and to give him glory. Yeah. And from that, it reduces the frustration a great deal. It doesn't stop it. Now I'm still human; they come, but it don't last long.
Great answer. Great answer. Okay, this is a good one. And we'll end it on this one.
Okay.
Most people don't know that I blank. What is something that a lot of people don't know about Mr. Jeffery Shippy?
I think before this, I think a lot of people didn't know I dropped out of school in the 7th grade.
I didn't know.
I tell you what, there's a lot, man. We can go on. I don't think most people knew I dropped out in 7th grade. I don't think they know I've been shot twice. They probably don't know that I've been in jail over 50 times. I don't think a lot of people know those things about me. Again, because of the social media age.
Right.
And I'm guilty of this. Social media, all we do is we blast what's going on and what's good.
Right.
You know, we make it social and media. What's social? Right now, what social is, I gave my wife this and I done this. I make it social and we just throw it out on social media. And so a lot of people don't know where I came from. A lot of people don't know, dude, I remember getting off the school bus and everything we owned was sitting out in the street. I'm talking about, and here's the crazy part, not once, not twice. I remember that occasion at least 5 times. My mom was raising 5 kids by herself.
How did that affect you mentally?
It made me feel like nothing lasts forever. It made me feel like no matter what I have, it's going to come to an abrupt end. And because I knew it was going to come to an end, it caused me to sabotage things. If I got $1,000, it wasn't going to last. So what the heck? Just blow it. If I got a good relationship, it's not going to last. What the heck? Just do something reckless.
Wow.
It gave me that survival savage type mentality. Because again, we would move into a house and my mama would tell us fill the tub up with water. She tell the boys, fill the tub up with water because when y'all get home, the water gonna be off.
Oh, wow.
And when we got home, sometimes the tub was filled with water and we had no water running in the house. But we had already filled the tub up, so we had to take that water out of the tub, dip it for a bath, take that same water and cook the noodles. We didn't use the bath water for the noodles. We used the clean water in the tub to cook.
Yeah.
But growing up with that, and when I get off the school bus, we've been put out over 5 times. Again, it just made me feel like, man, nothing lasts. And when I had that nothing lasts mentality, it just caused me to sabotage anything I ran across. And it took me meeting good people. It took me years of understanding why I was the way I was to really unravel that and be transformed by the renewing of our mind, by the renewing of my mind. It took years to really get rid of that mentality. I think that's one reason why I love real estate. Because I feel like it kind of feeds that theory a little bit that nothing lasts forever. Well, when I buy this property, I own it. And I have a couple mentors in real estate. One of my mentors says, just get everything, leverage it. If you have $100,000, instead of paying $50,000 for one property, put $10,000 on 5 properties. That's one investor, one mentor.
Yeah.
My other mentor says, pay cash for everything, own it, don't owe nobody.
Okay.
And that's the one I like the most because, again, I was raised that it's not going to last. And so my theory is I own that free and clear. That building, that house is going to be there. You can't come and take that from me. And that kind of debunks that when the enemy goes to telling me it's not going to last, you're going to be broke again. Yeah, well, maybe I may be broke. But one thing I do know, that I have treated my money like soldiers. I send them out, and I expect for them to come back with more soldiers.
Come on.
And I do that by the way of real estate. I send it out, and I buy investment properties, and we own them free and clear.
Do you know how crazy your testimony is? You go from seeing your family's, furniture, everything that you belong on the street, to buying your mother a home that's already paid for, bro. Do you know how big that is? Have you just thought about that?
Man, I kid you not. I sit back in real life awe of what God has done and where I came from. And I do, man. I kid you not. I do know that's amazing. You're talking to somebody, dude, 7th grade. I was extremely dyslexic. I kid you not. I'm talking, well, back then, it wasn't dyslexic. Your parents would just give you a whooping and you would spell what they want you to spell. But I remember like yesterday, my mom would say, spell table. And I'm dyslexic. So dyslexic is when you kind of hear stuff backwards. Like table, I know is T-A-B-L-E.
Okay.
But a dyslexic person spell table and they would say B-L because they hear it backwards. That was me, 100%. And you got a dude, man, that left in the 7th grade. I often tell people all the time, I think when I put myself out there and show people what God is doing, I was about to say it's never to brag, but one of your questions spoke to the humanity of you. I brag. I'm sorry. I do a little bit. Again, I'm just human.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I do it because I want people to see what's possible.
Yeah. Inspire.
Yeah, to see what's possible. And nothing great brings me greater joy in it other than helping somebody live their dream, helping somebody get move closer to what it is they really want to do in life, whether it's real estate, entrepreneur, whatever it is. I'm talking about, dude, if I had all the money in the world, I would wake up, find 30 or 40 people that I can encourage to live their dream and do what it is in life they want to do.
That's good. Well, man, I want to thank you for joining me, man, and doing this vodcast, just being so transparent, so open about your story. Our relationship is special. You already know. you're like a brother to me. You're my mentor.
Absolutely,
basically, man. So
absolutely.
I thank you, man, for, like I said, just sharing your story. I appreciate you.
Well,
love
they
you,
got
bro.
to know we go way back, man. We go way back.
Way
I
back.
appreciate you. Thank you for having me,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Let your pastor know. Thank you for trusting me to come on the podcast, and prayerfully that I, of course, represented Christ and gave you my story.
Yeah, man.
And told you where I came from, and I still believe that eyes have not seen,
Come on.
ears have not heard. I believe that it has not entered into the hearts of men the things that God has prepared for those that love him and walk upright. And the same way I'm committed to stay with that woman for another 40, 50 years, I'm committed to continue to walk with Christ and to see what the end's going to be. So thank you again, brother. Absolutely,
Yes,
man.
sir. Awesome. Thank you,
Bless you, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for joining and watching. Remember to share this video, Facebook, YouTube. Next week, we have two of my best friends, my brothers, Apostle Jackson and Mr. Terrell Witten. They're going to be here. I don't want to give it away, the title, the topic, but it's going to be fantastic. So make sure you join us next week. Love you guys.